Decoding the feminine gaze in the context of semen retention is about much more than attraction. It is about perception, energy, and psychology coming together to form an invisible signal that women subconsciously recognize. When a man chooses to retain his sexual energy rather than squander it, he sends out a vibration that can be felt even before he speaks. Women, who are naturally more attuned to subtle shifts in energy and body language, respond to this vibration without even realizing why. The feminine gaze becomes the mirror through which a man can see how his internal state shapes the way the external world interacts with him. Before we go deeper into the decoding process, I want to pause here and ask you to join the Telegram channel, whose link is in the description. That space will allow you to connect with others exploring these ideas and to share insights that go beyond what can be covered here. When we speak of the feminine gaze, we are not simply referring to a glance or a look. We are referring to the instinctive perception that women have, one that often bypasses rational thought and taps into a more primal evaluation system. Women have evolved for centuries to assess male vitality, self-control, and leadership qualities at lightning speed. Semen retention directly affects these traits because it shapes a man's discipline, emotional balance, and even his hormonal profile. When a man is constantly drained, scattered, and addicted to gratification, his presence weakens. His posture droops, his voice lacks authority, and his aura becomes clouded. Women sense this instantly. The gaze they give such a man is indifferent or dismissive because he does not radiate vitality. In contrast, a man who practices semen retention builds his presence naturally. His energy is stored and redirected. His posture strengthens, his eyes sharpen, his words gain weight. Without speaking a word, he signals that he is in control of himself. The feminine gaze in this case lingers longer. It carries curiosity and intrigue. It silently acknowledges that this man has something rare. It is not always about physical beauty or wealth. It is about an energetic field that cannot be faked. This is why men on the retention path often report that women look at them differently, sometimes more frequently, and often with a subtle intensity that was not there before. The explanation lies in biology as much as psychology. Retention increases testosterone levels in the short term. It boosts dopamine sensitivity, which leads to greater motivation and clearer focus. It builds a sense of inner confidence that shows up in micro-expressions, gestures, and tone of voice. Women pick up on these cues faster than men because their survival instincts have been fine-tuned for thousands of years to detect male quality at a glance. The feminine gaze, therefore, is not just attraction, but an evaluation system. It asks silently, is this man strong enough to protect? Is he disciplined enough to lead? Is he vital enough to create? When a man passes these silent tests, her gaze reflects recognition, even if she is not consciously aware of what she is responding to. This is why decoding the feminine gaze is so powerful for men on the retention journey. It becomes a live feedback mechanism. If women begin to look at you more often, or if their eyes linger with softness or curiosity, it signals that your energy is shifting. Your presence is becoming magnetic. On the other hand, if you notice no shift, it may be time to reflect on whether your practice is consistent, whether your lifestyle habits support your energy, and whether you are truly embodying discipline rather than just avoiding release for a short while. Presence cannot be manufactured through tricks. It is earned through mastery over desire. And mastery is exactly what semen retention trains. Beyond attraction, there is also the matter of respect. Women not only gaze at a man differently when he is on retention, but they also behave differently around him. Conversations become warmer. Boundaries are tested in subtle ways. Opportunities for deeper connection arise. All of this happens because women subconsciously gravitate toward energy that feels abundant rather than scarce. They feel safer and more inspired in the presence of such men. This is not manipulation. It is alignment with natural law. The feminine gaze is nature's way of rewarding discipline with recognition. Another layer to decoding this gaze involves understanding contrast. A man who is constantly indulging may get fleeting glances, but never the deep look of curiosity or respect. His energy burns out quickly, leaving nothing memorable. A man on retention, however, leaves an imprint because his energy is steady and contained. The gaze of a woman reflects this contrast. It tells the truth that words often cannot. Eyes do not lie. If you have ever experienced the difference between a casual glance and a lingering gaze, you know the difference. One passes through you as if you are invisible. The other penetrates and stays in your memory. Retention gives you the second. It gives you the gaze that acknowledges your presence. And presence is the currency of power. Men spend years trying to build presence through external means such as style, wealth, or status. But the truth is that presence begins internally. Semen retention builds it from within. The world then reflects it back through the eyes of women, through the respect of peers, and through the opportunities that suddenly appear. When you begin to notice this shift, do not take it as a signal to become arrogant. Take it as confirmation that you are walking the right path. The gaze you receive is a reminder that your energy has value. Protect it, sharpen it, channel it. This is not about attracting as many women as possible. It's about becoming the best version of yourself, so that all of your interactions, romantic or otherwise, carry more depth and meaning. Women respond to energy, yes, but so do employers, colleagues, and strangers. Everyone senses vitality, even if they cannot explain it. The feminine gaze is simply the most noticeable mirror, because women are wired to respond most sensitively. Once you start decoding this, you will see how much truth lies in the eyes. You will notice when eyes soften, when pupils dilate, when glances are repeated. These are the signals of energy recognition. They are subtle, but powerful. They are not always conscious, but they are always real. This is why retention is not just a personal practice, but a social one. It transforms not only how you feel about yourself, but also how others treat you. It changes dynamics in relationships. It alters how people perceive your value. And it all begins with the choice to hold your energy rather than waste it. Once you commit to that, the world begins to respond in ways that feel almost mystical. But it is not mystical. It is biological and psychological law in action. You are simply aligning with it. So whenever you notice the feminine gaze directed at you in a way that feels different, take it as a signpost. It is telling you that your energy is being felt. It is proof that your discipline is visible, even if you say nothing. It is evidence that the inner work always shows outwardly. Do not chase this gaze. Do not depend on it for validation. Simply recognize it, smile internally, and continue walking the path. The true goal is mastery, not approval. Approval will come naturally. Mastery takes patience. Retention is the training ground for that patience. Every day you hold your energy, you sharpen your presence. Every day you sharpen your presence, the gaze of others confirms it. Over time, this builds an unshakable confidence that no external circumstance can destroy. That is the ultimate gift of retention. It's not just attraction, not just the feminine gaze, but the creation of a man who knows his value and who cannot be shaken by fleeting desires. Such a man is rare, and rarity always draws attention. So the next time you feel the gaze of a woman linger on you, decode it as nature's way of acknowledging the man you are becoming. Decode it as feedback that your discipline is paying off. Decode it as encouragement to continue, even when temptation feels overwhelming. And when you need strength, remember that countless men before you have walked this path and left behind wisdom for you to draw on. The Telegram channel link below is one such place where that wisdom is being shared. Use it, engage with it. Stay connected to others who are building their energy because community strengthens commitment. As we bring this reflection to a close, I want to leave you with one final thought. Feminine gaze is powerful, but it is not the end goal. It is a signal, a mirror, and a reminder. The real prize is the man you become through this practice. Protect your energy, build your presence, walk with discipline, and let the gaze of the world, feminine or otherwise, confirm what you already know within yourself. If this message has given you value, I request you to contribute using the thanks button below. Every contribution, no matter how small, is important and helps this work continue for more men who need to hear these truths.